So, hi everyone and welcome. First of all, many thanks for being here today. It's great to have people joining from so many different countries. So I really appreciate your time and I hope you find this session interesting and useful. Okay, so let's dive in. In today's webinar, we will introduce one of the problems we face today, which is air pollution. We will talk about different initiatives that are being carried out to improve the situation. In addition, we will talk about hybrid networks for air quality monitoring as one of the most important actions to implement and their benefits. Moreover, I will show you some real cases of this type of networks in different cities. And finally, we will analyze the future of urban living, as it says in the title, okay? And of course, we'll have time at the end to clarify any question you may have. So feel free to note any question and we will answer them at the end of the presentation. So let's start with the main topic. Air pollution in cities is today a problem that is affecting both public health and the environment in general. So as we can see here, according to the World Health Organization, more than 90% of the world's population breathes polluted air, which has led to 4.2 million deaths each year worldwide, only counting deaths from ambient air pollution. So this is amazing. In addition to this, we see that 70% of the population in urban areas is generated by traffic and industries, which is something important to consider. Therefore, we can conclude that cities play a crucial role as they are not just part of the problem, but also part of the solution, okay? So, in line with this, cities are planning more and more initiatives to combat this problem. This includes, for example, low emission zones, increased green spaces, of course, the promotion of electric and sustainable transport, community awareness and engagement programs, monitoring and control of urban air quality, very important. And it is also important to note that regulations are being more and will be stricter in terms of emission limits and permits. So with respect to this regulatory initiative, I believe it's essential to dedicate a section to introduce and discuss a bit the new air quality directive, which is and will be affecting us directly. So it is quite complete, and to learn all the details, we will have to analyze it in depth. However, a quick summary of the key changes is definitely useful. So first, we see a clear alignment with World Health Organization's recommended limit values, meaning that the thresholds are significantly lower. Additionally, the number of allowed exceedances has been reduced. So in this table, we can see that the limits are reduced, of course, but also the exceedances allowed. So for example, in the NO2 pollutant, we see that is from 18 to 3, okay? And in the case of SO2, from 24 to 3 also, okay? Another major update is the inclusion of new pollutants, such as ultrafine particles, ammonia, and black carbon. And on top of that, there is an increase in the required number of monitoring stations based on population size. Lastly, along with this directive, we also get two important guides, one for air quality monitoring and another one for modeling, which will provide us with additional clarity on implementation, for example, for cities. Yeah, so in order to introduce ourselves a little more in deep in air quality monitoring, I consider essential to differentiate between the different instruments that we find in the market. So here in the left part, we find reference and equivalent instruments, okay? These are the traditional way of measuring air quality. So they are officially regulated and certified, okay? They provide high quality data, but they have some weaknesses that they are too costly to purchase and maintain, and they offer a limited spatial resolution, measuring only one pollutant per instrument also. In the other side, in the right part, we have low-cost air quality sensors, which are really cheap and they offer a higher spatial resolution, but the data quality is really poor. So it's kind of measuring anything, okay? And then here in the middle, we have professional sensor-based air quality stations. This type of technology, which includes Kunak, takes benefits from both parts, okay? Thus, it offers accurate data, at least in the case of Kunak, near reference data, in a much more cost-effective way than the reference stations, given the opportunity of measuring multiple pollutants with the same station and offering a higher spatial resolution. So now, I would like to introduce hybrid networks and let you understand what they are all about. A hybrid network is the combination of reference stations with mobile sensor-based stations that they offer similar data quality to the fixed ones. This allows us to have real-time and hyper-local information at different points of the city, thus a larger spatial and temporal resolution of air quality. Sensor-based stations considerably reduced cost of acquisition and maintenance of the network and help it to identify more easily the sources of the different emissions. But it is really important to make a good choice of this sensor-based station to ensure that the data they collect, it will be of good quality. So this is important. Yeah, and as I was mentioning at the beginning, one of the most important initiatives is to monitor air quality in real time. These hybrid networks not only increases the information about air quality in different parts of the city, which is really important, but they are also very relevant in the process of identifying new problematic areas in which maybe implement new action plans. For example, there are cities that have only one reference station. In some cases it's fixed, but in other ones it's mobile. So thanks to the sensor-based stations, it is easier to identify critical areas where you may want to move the mobile reference unit for further analysis, okay? Or even if you simply want to know which is the most convenient strategic area for your reference unit, you can make a campaign with these smaller stations for that, okay? Other benefits would be the evaluation of the effectiveness of any actions already implemented or to be implemented. And of course, they are also useful for increasing the awareness through different campaigns, for example. So this sensor-based technology is revolutionizing the market, and cities as important as London, Oslo, LA, Paris, Madrid, and others are already, they have already implemented this and they have networks in their cities, okay? Yeah. So to guide us a little in this choice of these stations, based on the data quality objectives of the new air quality directive, a classification of the sensor is made, taking into account the maximum allowed uncertainty. Stations with a maximum uncertainty of, as you can see here, stations with a maximum uncertainty of 50% for gases and 25% for particulate matter are classified as reference measurements. And as we observe, stations with a maximum uncertainty of 25% in gases, 30% in ozone, 35% in PM2.5, and 50% in PM10 are classified as indicative measurements, class 1 sensors, okay? So from here, we see that uncertainties allowed in class 2 and 3 are too high. So it is important that the sensors we use for these hybrid networks are of class 1, indicative measurements, okay? And you will see that within this class 1, we also found different manufacturers with different performance data. So it is always good that you are interested in seeing different studies of the data from different manufacturers. In this way, you will be choosing to obtain quality and reliable data for your networks. Now, to take it more visual, we see a reference station here measuring air quality in this important area of a city, a situation that we found nowadays in all the cities and towns. But now, thanks to the sensor-based system, we are able to have much more complete and useful information, hyperlocal information, to support action plans and reduce emission this way. So air quality depends on many factors and varies greatly from one street to another. So imagine how much it can vary from one area of the city to another. Okay, so it's important to measure in many different areas. So yeah, and taking into account all of the aforementioned, I feel like it is the time to introduce our Kunak Air Pro unit, which is a perfect option for a hybrid network since it offers a data quality very similar to that of the reference station. So we have the Kunak Air Pro, which is a multi-pollutant station, and then the smart cartridges, which have a patented technology in them. Okay, and they can easily combine. You can easily combine and replace them thanks to its plug and play system. Okay, then we have the software for data visualization and other functionalities that we will see quickly in the following slides. So this is our sensor range right now. So as you can see, NOx, CO2, CO, ozone, but also some industrial gases such as methane and some other gases such as ammonia, H2S. And we are working to launch more, some new ones in the coming months, okay? So this extensive range of gases in our cartridge system are some of the factors that makes Kunak the most versatile and accurate sensor in the market, being able to adapt to many different environments. Yeah. Regarding the software, we offer a very complete air quality platform in which you can, of course, visualize data with different maps, heat maps, pollution roses, leakage detection maps, and others. But also you have all the functionalities such as setting alarms for thresholds. So for example, you could set the limits in the directive to see how many times the limit has been surpassed. You can also make multi-parametric analysis, customized reporting, but also remotely correcting and calibrating the sensors for a proper maintenance. You can visualize the AQI index and customize it, or see future predictions, for example, and many other functionalities. Okay. So yeah, this type of technology is not officially certified yet. Okay, we are working on that together with the European Union. But in order to create a trustable solution for our customers, we conduct different independent evaluations in different markets. So these are two of them, AQSpec and LLab Challenge. So in which we have been having very good results, being recognized in the LLab Challenge as the most accurate multi-pollutant sensor in the market in the past two editions, which is really good. But we also comply with the US EPA guidelines with the different protocols, metrics, and target values, but also with the technical specs already approved by the European Union, and also with the ones in the United States. And as official certification, as the name states, certification, we have the MCERT certification for particle matter, okay? And now I will now like to show you some use cases that we have been selecting for you to bring all this to reality. So the first one is about the Pure Cities project carried out by our partner AirScan. The project was implemented across Belgium, in which 33 cities are participating, and we are currently welcoming new cities. We developed several sensors. We deployed, several sensors to create a network in which high precision and real-time environmental data was the focus. So some of the benefits apart from this were early detections of pollution sources, increasing public awareness of this problem, and more efficient resource management. This one was carried out with the French Atmos, in which we deployed again several devices across many regions in France. In this specific region, we deployed 25 units, creating a hybrid network, complementing reference stations. So the main benefits were having higher monitoring resolution at hyper-local level, having different alerts of air pollution events, and of course, supporting health, climate, and energy projects. Yeah, the third case is about an important project here in Spain, in the city of Bilbao. We deployed 41 Kunak Air Pros across all the city of Bilbao, creating this way one of the biggest networks in Europe. So again, we increased the control and monitoring of the city, but also we helped the city to have future predictions, to plan pollution reduction plans, for example. In this way, they were complying with the European Union regulations, okay? Yeah. And the last use case is about the project in Porto Alegre in Brazil, implemented by Aqua in Brazil. This is not part of Europe, we know that, but we thought it was interesting to include it. So apart from all the benefits already mentioned in the previous cases, they included public access to up-to-date data, which increases transparency of authorities it creates trust in people. Yeah, so to start closing a bit this webinar, I would like to quickly analyze the future that awaits us. A city is not only based on its buildings, its population, and its traffic. Although the traffic is one of the biggest problems in urban pollution, there are also many other factors that add to this and affect the urban environment negatively. So I found this image that represents perfectly all these emission sources, such as ports, airports, industries, agriculture, construction sites, wastewater treatment plants, and in others, okay? So I believe we have to be aware and keep under control all these emission sources, adapting to the different pollutants actors in each environment, of course. But yeah, regulations are going to be stricter and stricter with the limitations. So for example, some construction sites are forced to measure dust. In different industries, the restrictions are being harder in some pollutants, etc. Okay? So therefore, we need to have a broad picture of the ecosystem that makes up a city in order to be able to fight this problem. Yeah. Finally, I would like to give you a summary of Kunak's global presence around the world. We are present in more than 80 countries with more than 300 customers and more than 40 distributors right now. I'll leave you here some of the important customers we work with as an example. And yeah, I would like to take these opportunities to say thank you to all our distributors for their work and dedication. I know there are some of them watching me today, so thank you. Okay. Yeah, and that's basically all. So thank you very much for your attention. I hope this session was useful. Now let's jump to the question and answer section. So feel free to drop your questions in the chat. And yeah, I hope it was of your interest. Let me see. I cannot see the questions. Okay. Yeah, I'm a technician from Barcelona Provincial Council, and I would like to know how many quality controls you perform through the useful life of each cartridge. If the equipment is calibrated, I would also appreciate if you could explain how this calibration is carried out. Okay, yeah, regarding the maintenance of the sensors, we need to carry out maintenance, of course, to ensure that the quality they obtain is accurate. So we make different corrections remotely in the software, and we also have the possibility of calibration, of course, collocating the station, which is a traditional way of calibration. But we also offer a gas hood in which you can go with a gas cylinder and insert the gas on field and calibrate the sensors on field in just 5 minutes, let's say. 1 second. Regarding to certificates, do Kunak have other certificates from XSpec and AirLab? Yeah, we have it. We have them. You have a section in our website in which the resource section in which you can find different evaluations, scientific papers, I don't know, the use cases, of course, and some other documentation interesting that you can find them, okay? Will the webinar be available later? Yeah. So we are recording the webinar, so you will have access to the webinar later on, so no problem, okay? Dear, will it be possible to share with us the support of this presentation? Yes, of course. As I was mentioning, the webinar will be recorded, so you will have it, okay? In the meantime, I would like to welcome our product manager, Irene Lara, okay? She is on a business trip, so she will try to connect remotely. I think she's here. So yeah, she would definitely answer your more technical questions better than me. So she will try to join and yeah, this way we ensure that we answer all your questions in the best way possible, okay? Hello, Irene.
Hello, good morning.
Okay. Can you quickly explain us the calibration method used for PM? Yeah, we normally, maybe Irene can explain this better, but we use a factor. You can explain this, please?
Yeah, so all of our PM sensors are certified by MCerts. That means that all our sensors come with a factor by default. Our sensor was certified by MCerts to provide indicative measure for particles. Apart from this factor that come in all the sensors, it is possible to calibrate this factor for the specific particle type that you can find in a specific location. For that, we can collocate our instrument with other instruments like Pallas or Teledyne, and then calculate the factor that corresponds to that specific particle type. And then all this process is very easy to do using our Kunak cloud. So we can configure this new factor in the PM sensor.
Yeah, thank you. We have more questions. Methane is missing in the image presented. I thought it was there, but yeah, We have, in fact, we have a new sensor for methane, which we have already launched. So we have a very good brochure in our website. In case you are interested, you can visualize it, but it's able to detect low concentrations. So it's perfect for maybe leakage detections and so on. It, It is also possible to have it for the research of only two pollutants. Yeah, so in fact, we have two stations, okay? We were presenting the Kunak Pro, but we have another one, the Kunak Lite, which can measure up to two different gases, okay? In fact, I have here a Kunak Lite, okay, for you to see. So you can measure two different gases thanks to the cartridges, okay, plus PM sensor. You also have the possibility of integration of external proofs, so the device is quite complete. And in case you go for the Pro, for example, you can also insert just two pollutants or the number of pollutants you are interested in. What is the model used by Kunak for the plume distribution? I don't really catch this question. I don't know if you catch it, Irene.
We don't have any plume so far, so I don't know exactly what is. If you can maybe rephrase the question, so maybe we can understand better.
Yeah. Is the accuracy of the Kunak Lite as good as the Kunak Pro? The cartridges are the same, okay? It works with the same technology, so accuracy in the cartridges is the same. Regarding the PM sensor, the Kunak Lite has a more simpler sensor that can measure PM1 and PM2.5 accurately, and then it gives an estimation of PM10, okay? The PM sensor in the Pro is a more complete one, MCERT certified, that can measure PM1, PM2.5, PM4, PM10, TSP, and TPC. So the only difference is this in the PM sensor, okay? How often does the cartridge need to be replaced? Okay, so most of the cartridges are electrochemical, so you will need to replace them each 2 years. We have some others working with another technology that will be maybe to change it each 5 years, but most of them are electrochemical, so it's 2 years, okay? Oh, let me check. Hi, how the device performs? Okay, so yeah, this question is a bit general question. If you can just focus your question in something more specific. We are referring to the method to analyze and show on a map the cloud of pollution. This was linked to the other question, maybe, Irene.
Yeah, I think it was trying to clarify the other question, but I don't know if a map was shown in the presentation. I missed the presentation, so I'm not sure of what you are referring to. So maybe if you can write again the question, or just write us an email and we can...
Yeah, feel free to reach out to our emails with any question, okay?
What I can tell is that we are not using any model for atmospheric dispersion so far.
Has any Kunak equipment been installed in Asia? Yes, we have a big presence in Asia and we are expanding a lot, okay? Specifically in Vietnam, I think so. I think that we have several devices there in, I don't know, maybe a partner. I'm not the one in that area, but feel free to reach out via email and I will contact you with my colleague, okay, from that area. What data you provide for research, and is there any citation for your data? Can you answer this, Irene? Or?
Yeah. Do you mean if we have been, if our Kunak devices have been used in research works? In our website, as I know I mentioned, we have a dedicated section for scientific papers in which our devices has been used. And also we have the reports of several independent evaluations. I think maybe that could be the information you are looking for.
I would like to know if cities make air quality data publicly available, or if they only use it internally for environmental policy purposes. Okay, it will depend on the project and the city, and of course the needs of the city. We have some cities, such as the one in Brazil showed, that they decided to make it public, but we have some others that maybe have other purposes and they prefer getting the data secure for them. Is your instrument able to withstand harsh weather? For example, rainfall, high temperatures. Maybe you can answer better this, Irene.
Yeah, so our instrument has been deployed in many different locations across the world. For example, high temperature, we have some equipment in Bahrain, in Dubai, where the mean temperature is very high compared to Europe, for example. And also, yeah, we have devices also in the north of Europe, currently in Finland, and in the past in Sweden, where also the temperature can be very low. So yeah, and we have some comparisons. I think they are also very available in the website. But if you would like to have more information, just send us an email and we can provide you with some collocation data.
Yeah. Thank you. What I am interested in, I think this is also the question of is how Kunak visualize the heat maps and pollution sources shown in the presentation. Okay, so for example, thanks to the integration of the anemometer, we are able to detect the direction of the emissions. So this way we can have these pollution roses maps. Same happens with the heat maps. Depending on concentration, it shows one color and another. And yeah, basically it's a way of visualizing all the data collected, which is a lot of data. I don't know if you want to add anything, Irene, to this.
Sorry, can you repeat the question? I was answering a question in the chat.
He's asking about how we visualize data in heat maps, pollution roses, and so on.
Okay, yeah, we have and the opener suite for visualizations in our cloud. So we can see polar plot, pollution roses, so integrating wind data with the pollutant concentration data, which allows to identify the location of the sources. And we have as well other type of visualization, maybe more common, like time variations, calendars, or depending on the application that can be useful.
Okay. Is your instrument ISO certified, and which one? Can you answer this? Or
Yeah, so as I mentioned before, our PM sensor are MCerts certified. And then there is no other certifications so far for sensor-based instruments. What we have is our instruments, for example, can be compliant with the requirements of the technical specification, the European technical specification for sensor performance evaluation, and are also compliant with the target values explain define APA protocols, the APA. So that is what we can say so far, because there is no certification for this kind of instruments yet.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Does your instrument measure ambient noise also, or do you have an instrument that measure noise? Okay. Yeah, as I was mentioning, you have the possibility of integration of external probes in the same station. So we have a noise level meter instrument that you can integrate in the station. So this is also a possibility, okay? Are you providing data free for research purpose? I don't think so. Irene maybe is more linked to this, but
no. Usually the data belongs to the client, so we cannot provide any data to other people unless we have a specific project in which we are the ones doing the project. But in general, as we work for our clients, the data belong to them.
okay. Hi, is there a timetable for the class 1 certification? Irene?
I'm not sure about what you mean by timetable. Do you mean from at which moment this certification will be approved, or if
Yeah.
you can clarify the question, please?
Yes, please. What is the accuracy of the device? Yeah, for sure, Irene will answer you in a better way.
Yeah, the accuracy of the sensor depends on the sensor. So not all the sensors have the same accuracy. We have the technical specification of every sensor in our datasheet. So I invite you to go to our website and check it, because I don't know all the accuracies by heart, but most of them are in the PPB level.
Okay. Is there any Kunak instrument installed in any African countries? Yes. So, in fact, we have devices in the 5 continents. I'm not the one in charge of the African market, but we have, for example, a project in the port of Benin. It was an important project, and some others. But if you are interested in knowing more about the African market, feel free to reach out, okay?
I would like to add that we have also in Ghana, in which we are participating in an independent evaluation called AfriSet. You can also look for these evaluations and see our results for PM sensors.
Yeah. What is the level of sensitivity of the instrument?
Yeah, again, sensitivity, I guess you are asking about limit of detection. So it really depends on the sensor. Most of them are in few ppbs, but again, this information is in the technical sheet. We have many sensors, so I cannot, I don't remember all of them by heart. So please go to our technical specification. I can tell you that for criteria pollutants, for example, most of them are few ppb, I guess around 3 ppb, and methane is 2 ppm, and the rest you can go to the technical sheet.
Yeah, we have a very good brochure and data sheet with all the information, so feel free to enter that and you will have the information on there. Does your instrument measure meteorological data, wind speed, wind direction, etc. as well? Yes. So we can integrate the anemometer as an external probe. Okay, we can integrate probes for solar radiation, wind speed and direction, noise, rain. Okay, so we have several possibilities in order to adapt to the needs of our clients and the projects. Okay. What is the advantage of Kunak in comparison with other brands or on ambient air monitoring? Okay, so we take a long process in laboratory with the cartridges in order to ensure that they will be reacting well under several conditions, high temperatures, low temperatures. So this way we ensure that the data we collect will be accurate and reliable. Okay, so the thing that differentiates us is the long process and characterization of the cartridges. Can you send me the device manual? You have, as I was mentioning, the brochure and the datasheet that you can download them in the website. You have a lot of information there, very useful. So feel free to go to our website. What do you think when you can get the European Union Class 1 certification? Some months, a year?
That was okay. That was the clarification of the other question. So for the certification, really the status is we are waiting that some laboratories get the accreditation to perform these evaluations, and then we can go and with our equipment and be certified. But until there is no laboratory which is certified to test the devices, we cannot do anything. So I guess it will be many months or or a year at least. Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't have any other question. If you have some, let us know, but there is no question yet. Yeah, but feel free to reach out to our emails and website if you have any inquiry or maybe some questions. Okay, we will be happy to help you on that. Okay, so yeah. If you don't have any other question, so yeah, thank you very much for attending this webinar. It has been a pleasure for me to give this information. And yeah, again, we can be in contact, okay, if you need something. So yeah, bye-bye. Have a nice
Thank
day.
you.
Thank
Bye.
you very much.